to the Ray Amanat Show. Wake the fuck up, America.
Hello, America. Welcome to the Ray Amanat Show. It's been a while since I've spoken to you. I've had a lot going on. One of the things that I'm working on is hopefully eventually moving into a house from living in this apartment. But that's what's been consuming a lot of my time. But hey, I'm glad to be back and glad to be here talking to you guys. Of course, um, we'd like to shout out to the OBBM network for sponsoring us or hosting us on their network. If you guys want to see our previous shows, you can go to the obbmnetwork.tv, search the Ray Amanat Show, and you can see our past episodes. I'd like to also thank our sponsor, which is PBP Web Design. They're actually the people that designed my website, rayamanat.com. If you want information on them, you can contact James Durkin, who's the CEO of PBP Web Design. You can go to his website, pbpwebdesign.com, or email him, James Durkin at pbpwebdesign.com. His phone number is also 727 457 5894. Now, on to some breaking news with, of course, me, Ram. Hey, I'm trying to get as close to the news media shows as I can, so I hope you guys like some of this. But today on our show, it's going to be more the I'm Just Saying segment. And I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about Israel and Iran, mainly Iran. Now, those of you that don't know a lot about me, my parents were immigrants from Iran. They came to the United States. My dad went to medical school, got his medical degree and everything else, went back to Iran. When he was here in the States going to medical school, that's where my oldest brother, John, myself, and my one younger brother, Frank, were born. So we were all born here in the U.S. As natural born citizens or American citizens. And then my dad went back to Iran, and things happened there, which I'm not going to get into, where he fled the country and came back to the United States. Got his American citizenship. Of course, my mom and my youngest brother both got their American citizenships, and we were here. Now, a lot of you hear the phrase Iranian American. You know, back when the mullahs or the ayatollahs overthrew the Shah of Iran, that's where my life pretty much changed. They've been in power of the country, Iran, for about 46 years. For the first 10 to 15 years after they overthrew the Shah and took over the country, that's when I was in middle school, high school, and that's when my life became a living hell because everyone looked at me. I was too afraid to say, yes, my nationality is Iranian. I would say I'm Persian, like the Persian cat, because I was not proud of the country my parents came from. I am not an Iranian American. I am an American. I've been embarrassed of the country my parents came from ever since the Iran hostage crisis happened in 1979. It's not the people of Iran. The people of Iran are wonderful people. It's the government of Iran that pretty much made my life a living hell. For me to get stares, for me to be called a camel jockey, a sand nigger, a terrorist, a towelhead, for me to be randomly selected every time I went to the airport to be searched because I looked like the Iranians, or my last name was Iranian. Um, so again, it's the government that I despise. It's not the people. My take on everything that's happened with Israel battling Iran, because Iran has had their other facets like Hamas and Hezbollah and other people that have been lobbing missiles into Israel, kidnapping, if you look at the February 14th, holding hostage, murdering. They've been attacking Israel forever. And after Donald Trump said, well, we'll give you 60 days to come to a peace agreement between you and Israel. And Iran said no, or after 60 days, nothing happened. And Israel said, all right, on day 61, we're going to bomb you. And they started taking out their weapons, they started taking out their airplanes and anything else, munitions areas, anything to weaken Iran. The next thing President Trump had said is, I'm going to give you 2 weeks, or within 2 weeks, I'll let you know what my decision is on what we're going to do with Iran. We hope that within that time, they're going to come to a peace agreement between Iran and Israel, of which their leadership, Iranian leadership, said, we are not going to negotiate or do any type of a peace treaty. We refuse to communicate with Americans or anyone from Israel. And then in that 2 day time, Donald Trump had his brilliant, genius attack on all of the Iranian nuclear sites, or at least three, not all of them, but three of the Iranian nuclear sites. We're still waiting to assess the damage. The Iranians may have moved some of the uranium to a different location. And is it weapons grade uranium? We don't know. The IAEA is wanting to send their inspectors. Iranians are not letting them in. So that's all wait and see happening. So then Israel kept bombing Iran. And, Donald Trump got pissed at Israel because Iran said, okay, take it easy. My friend. They're not friends. They just say things so they can get away with more things. They're stalling, stall tactic after stall tactic after stall tactic. So now, hopefully, there will be some type of a peace treaty signed by them. My hopes are, back when President Obama was in office with Vice President Biden, they gave the Iranian people a chance to rise and overthrow the current Iranian government, but they did not signal to the Iranian people that they would have American support. So the Iranian people, they did protest, and a lot of them got killed by the current regime. A lot of them got imprisoned by the current regime, which is funny because Israel bombed one of the entrances to the prisons that were holding um, uh, political prisoners that were against the current regime. So hopefully they got out of the prison, and they'll be able to get the Iranian people to get together with Donald Trump's support to help make Iran great again. I prefer calling them Persia versus Iran, because Iran to me sounds too close to Aryan race, which is Hitler's Nazi, which is maybe where Hitler got that from. Uh, so, going back to my take on everything, my hopes are the Iranian people will get together and rise. Donald Trump doesn't want nor does he want Israel to take out the Iranian leadership, because that would just make them a martyr and get the current regime sympathizers to rise and rebuild and fight back. Donald Trump, my take, wants a peace agreement because he wants less death on all sides, on both fronts, Israel and Iran, hoping the Iranian people will rise and overthrow the current regime and start a new government, not one that is, put up by the Americans with a puppet leader or anything, but one that is duly elected by the Iranian people, that will take Iran back to where the Shah of Iran was, where people can walk around wearing whatever clothing they want, worshiping whatever religion they want without fear of persecution. So, this is a very difficult and troubling time. President Biden, as I call him, President Poopy Pants, led a whole bunch of illegals. And it wasn't just illegal Mexicans, but it was illegals from China, illegals from other countries, including that of Iran. So if there is any attack on American soil by any Iranian sleeper cell operatives, that again is going to be blood on Joe Biden, and yes, I will say this, President Obama's hands. Because to me, Biden was just a puppet of President Obama. He was just doing whatever Obama wanted. It was Obama's third term. This is my opinion. I'm not stating any facts, or I don't know anything. It's just that's how I saw it. That's how I looked at it. To the Iranian people, for me as a son of Iranian immigrants, somebody that went through my own persecution here on American soil, as far as being bullied throughout school and having to worry about people saying anything to me, or getting the dirty looks, wondering if I'm a terrorist or not. I'm as American as you get. I'm a constitutional conservative. I love my country, the United States of America. To the Iranian people, I want you to love your country. I want you to fight for your country. I want you to fight for your freedom and get out of the thumb of this oppressive regime and take back your freedom so that you can be happy. You can sign the Arab Accords and have peace amongst all the Arab nations, where you can have free and fair trade amongst each other, and everyone can be thriving and successful. Don't let the mullahs, let's take the Ayatollah. He expects people, young people, he brainwashes them to be suicide bombers. He promises them you'll get so many virgins and so many this and so many that upon your death. He wants them to go kill themselves while he or they are allowed to grow old and reap the benefits of all the money that they're getting from other countries that are also corrupt? Why are the Ayatollahs allowed to grow old and live a lavish life while they want you to go kill yourself in the name of God or Allah or whatever? Don't be fooled. I want you to be religious, but if you look at truly all religions, if you really read the Bible, the Quran, learn about Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Judeo, being Jewish or whatever religion, dissect the verses in each of their writings, and you'll see that they're all pretty close to wanting the same thing. Um, don't let people usurp your power for your freedom based on their greed. So to my Iranian people, we say, my friend. To the Iranian people, rise up, pick somebody that you feel would be a great leader that will sign the peace treaties with other nations and other countries and allow Iran to thrive and become a great nation again. Um, I hope, I don't know who's going to hear this message. Those of you that are watching, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But in my heart, it's there's been too much death and too much killing. If you look at all the wars that have been fought over history, most of the deaths have been due to religious wars. Let's stop the divide. I mean, our country, the United States, is being attacked because they're trying to divide everybody with labels. Democrat, Republican, Christian, Jew, LGBTQ. Everything is you're this, you're that, and they're separating us, not uniting us. America is about uniting the United States. There shouldn't be labels that divide. There should only be two labels. Two. You're either good or you're bad. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care who you want to sleep with or be with. As long as I don't care what political I don't care what political affiliation you have. As long as you're not imposing your belief system on me and I'm not imposing my belief system on you, and we're going by our laws, abiding by our laws, everybody should be good. The only two labels that there should be, and I've always said this, is you either good or you're evil. It'll be easy to find out who's evil based on them imposing their will and their belief systems down our throats. If you're evil, then I have a problem with you, and you will be taken care of, in accordance with laws. So to the Iranian people, find a new person that would be a great leader, that would choose great leaders to work under them, to rewrite all of the laws. It's not let's not go back into the Stone Age era where you're stoned to death or hung in public or anything like that. But we don't want you to become United States, but we want you to create laws that are fair, that everyone will abide by. And if they don't, that shows who they are, the evil. Then what are the consequences? You guys come up with those consequences. We've been lacked on some of the consequences. That's why crime has gone up here in the United States. That's why people are looting willy-nilly, stealing just under $1,000 worth of merchandise, and they don't get prosecuted. Now, if you prosecuted them, I bet fewer people will loot and steal. So, choose what laws work, what kind of consequences or punishments go with those laws, and enforce them. in a peaceful way. And, as long as everyone knows that if I'm inherently good, I'm just trying to live my life and be successful, then more power to you. But the second I try to put my belief system or value system and impose it on you, and it doesn't gel with your belief system or anyone else's, then you need to have a voice. You need to rise up and you say, no, I'm not interested. We have the right to disagree. That's okay. But if I'm doing it forcefully, then that's wrong, and that's where there should be consequences. Well, that is my rant today. Those of you that are interested in getting a hold of me, you can go to info@therayamanatshow.com. Again, that's my email address for this show, info@therayamanatshow.com. If you'd like to learn more about everything that I do and everything that I offer, you can go to rayamanat.com. rayamanat.com. As an author, a speaker, a trainer, a podcaster, all that information is on that website. You can learn a little bit more about me, my books, and everything. And that's all I have for now. So I appreciate you guys watching, listening. Please share this message. It's important to me. I care about everyone, and I want to see everyone happy, healthy, and successful. God bless you. Thank you for watching. And as always, wake the clock up, America. I'll talk to you on the next show.
Welcome to the Ray Amanat Show. Wake the clock up, America.